kind of depressing still, you know what I mean?
It's very depressing. It's very sad. It's like when you hear they're being suspended with pay.
No, they've been sacked.
No, but there are those that are being suspended with pay, you know, and you can see clear from the footage. Hold on a minute. It's all here. Why are they being suspended pending further investigation?
Right. Yeah, there was nothing definitely nothing ambiguous about what was going on with that. You know?
Well, it was as plain as day, wasn't it? Like,
yeah, it was pretty clear cut and dry, man. Do you know what I mean? But I kind of think that officer, you know, just on the side, you know, on a subconscious level, probably thought that it was in every right. Do you know what I'm saying? It was broad daylight. You know, showed no restraint, no compassion, no nothing. This wasn't even a human life. But when the man was begging like, yo, I can't breathe, he's like, oh, get in the car, how am I gonna get in the car? You got your knee on my neck. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's no regard for human life again. I think, had it been a white man, definitely, you know, he would have definitely exercised more leniency. But I think, you know, on so many different levels, like, you know, the black male is being characterized and demonized, and, you know, we're even like, you know, victims of doing it to our own self.
Why do they hate us so much though? Because that is hate. That's hatred.
Yeah, it's inbred though. It's generational, it's inbred.
It's like we just do not matter. Lives, black people do not matter. There's no compassion, there's no leniency, there's no cause behind your motive for doing what you're doing, none other than you probably wake up each morning saying you've got a premeditated mind.
Right.
So that's what it looks like. Because if when you weigh up the whole footage of a lot of these past deaths that have come about, they didn't warrant losing their life. So when
the offence that they got arrested for was non-violent offences. So if I go in the shop and I teeth, I don't know, a chicken, but why that don't warrant you to kill me? You know, like it's I haven't shot somebody, so you should just arrest me. Like, why? Yeah, it's crazy. You know what it is? Because I do a lot of work about unconscious bias and what's going on in the subconscious mind. And, you know, I don't like saying this because people take offense to this, but sometimes people inherently, they are racist. It's almost in their DNA. It's a default position. And like, it's a sense of entitlement because the whole system is geared to that. And we've been banging about it for years. But what you said, Claude, is 100% right. Like, until we achieve some economic status, I'm not talking about individuals with bent or that. I'm talking about a cohesion. Because even in Harlesden now, think about the lockdown that happened. You're not here, Claude. But all the shops in Harlesden, they were run by a community. I remember one time I was going to Harlesden and it was about 9 o'clock. And I saw these 3 Indian men packing up their shop to get ready to leave the hood. Man then came up in a Range Rover, locked up the shop and drove out of the hood. Now all that money, they're just taking it up to South Florida. It's gone. Now I'm saying, if I was to say to 100 people, give me £10,
right,
G, innit? And put a deposit on a shop and said, we want to sell our, they wouldn't do it. But what I'm saying is, once you start generating money, you know why the other communities are more secure? Because when they work together, they then generate money to get political influence. So then they paid for Mr. Singh's son to run for local MP. And when he runs for local MP, when he gets there, he's supporting his community. He's putting, and then there's 2 more that gets in there. So if you look at the Conservative government now, you got Boris and Dominic, you got that Chancellor, he's an Indian man. You got the other lady, Priti Patel, she's the Indian. Then you got our next Indian, she's the what's they call that one there, the general attorney.
They're getting the community behind them.
Yeah.
So they're getting into those, so therefore they can impact and influence. Right now, we don't have no money, so you can't buy no political weight. And that's why we're just in this catch-22, where we're just literally, where it's hunting season, isn't it? It's free, because you can't call it nothing else, isn't it? It's hunting season, isn't it?
Mm.
They're free to do what they want. And like, even like when we think about the relationships that men and women have in our communities, even the subject matter we're talking about, the reason why there's so much difficulties is because we're traumatized. And that impacts even our ability to do what you're talking about today, form relationships. Because we're operating always in that fear factor. So when we're with our partners or what, we are fearful and we can't distinguish. And don't forget, trauma impacts you in different ways. So when you're feeling traumatized, when you're feeling under attack, it's very hard to distinguish. That's my black queen that's doing this. You're just under pressure. You start thinking this is police and rare, boom, boom, tear. And then that's when you start having communication problems. It's deep. It's not
psychological. It's all psychological.
And I think to a degree, some of the difference that we make is not even tied to financial. Going back to like our first.
Oh, we got a few people in here, you know. Should we let them in?
No.
We got
where are they?
Oh, we got Joy in there.
Oh. Is anyone in the waiting room? Let me check.
I can't see the waiting room.
Keep talking, let me just check.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, so I was saying, like, you know, I don't think, you know, it's not even so much a case of like financial influence. Like we were saying in the first show that we done as a, you know, collective kind of thing, which was definitely awesome. It's just the willingness to want to participate, to make a difference. Don't take money. You know what I mean? Because if I'm standing up there, if I'm standing in a line with 10 willing men, to me, that's more strength than standing up with 2 men with a bag of money. You know what I mean? 10 of us can really make a difference. You know what I'm saying? So it really depends on what you're trying to do. Some people are in pursuit of money, which they feel is emancipation. I'm really in pursuit of solidarity. You know what I mean? Because if I've got a movement and a faction, if you know, it's like living in Harlesden and growing up, being born and raised and growing up in Harlesden, I feel kind of good because you know, as a youth, I love the community. You know what I'm saying? I just loved it. That's kind of like how I grew up. You loved your neighborhood. You could go out in the street and play with the picnic them until, you know, mommy and daddy come home and tell you forget your ass inside. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, and it's a mindset. You either love that or, you know, you're just an individualist. So I think as people get more influence nowadays, financial influence, they're becoming more soloists as opposed to being like, you know, making a huge difference in the communities. Like outside of like, yeah, it's Christmas, I'm gonna buy 100 turkeys and you ain't gonna see me again until next year. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to make more of a difference. And it's not just about the money, just the presence, you know, just creating that awareness. Like, you know, all right, hit the streets now. Like, you know, there's another atrocity that has taken place. So now it's time to educate, like, you know, that's running up on street, run up and down on the street recklessly. Now it's time to educate you, like, look, you don't have to worry about killing each other. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the police will do it for you. If you don't do it, the police is going to do it. Where you gonna, you know, where do you draw the line? You know what I'm saying? So, interesting.
But then with the influence that they have, everything is out there. It's one button away. The social media platform exposes them to all of the things that we were not privy to. Yeah. And because we had a limited amount, you know,
we best let some of these people in. Look, there's 3 people there. We best just make and just start after just keep this conversation going. Let's just let them in.
It's open to everybody.
No, don't let them in.
No,
Jasmine wants a private meeting.
This is why we can't get nowhere, because you understand, we don't support each other. We don't have no foundation.
Well,
yeah, but we're trying to build it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you
I'll
for
let
joining
them
us
in
tonight.
today. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you guys share the link with your friends?
I will do next time.
What's your
I've been
WhatsApp?
trying. How long have I been trying to get on here?
I don't know. What's your name, miss?
Tell him, Di.
Gemini.
Gemini, good evening. So make sure you share the link, because
I
as
will
you
definitely.
said about supporting each other, it's a new platform, and there's lots of people that is doing things on social media, but we just wanted to provide a safe, contained space where, as big people, we could just have a conversation. And it's really important that more people come on board, and 8 people, 10 people, really good.
Come up with ideas of how we can get this ball rolling, because boy, we need to stop bouncing the ball and start rolling it, because we've been bouncing along too long.
Well, the bottom line is, the ball, we was just having a conversation in the group, and the bottom line is, the ball is all about economic wealth. And when I say economic, I don't mean individual, I mean community wealth. And we can all do something collectively about helping. I mean, when that advert came out around tropical sun, and we started to boycott it because of the Wayne brothers who owned it, it worked. Are you going to mute it, Diane?
Thanks, darling.
So it kind of worked, and it kind of helped us. But it's going to be the same kind of thing we're going to have to stand up with now. I mean, when we was just talking, because Claude is in America. So I was really curious, like, all right, I'm hearing all this news from America, but I've got a friend that's in America. Let me ask him directly, what is the tempo? What is the vibe? What is the feeling? What is going on?
From the horse's mouth, as
From the
opposed
horse's
to
mouth
from
instead of the
media and all
news.
that.
And hearing his response around, you know, trauma, and how people have just become so focused on self that they won't even think, actually, me focus, it can happen to me, and I need to get that mentality out. You know, that mentality, I'm okay, Jack. Because the reality, until we are all okay, none of us is okay.
Amen to that.
The reality, until we're all okay, none of us is okay. And for me, just the reading and the research and the bits that I'm doing, and even just coming from a certain ghetto, until you have political weight, people can just take liberties with you all day long, bruv.
Yeah, they will.
It's even like when we think about the school system, like when we think about disproportionality and our young people in the criminal justice system, when you look at the other communities, because they got political weight, they can't just send their children to pupil referral units. No, they're writing to their MP, and they what? Mr. Singh's son is a good boy, and Mr. Singh is writing some letter. They can't just rail. But with our youths, them, I mean, I could talk about disproportionality all day long.
It's a big subject.
It impacts, and it's not just disproportionality here in the UK, it's in America. And when we look at, you know, my role is around serious youth violence. I've been working with young people now for about 20 years around serious youth violence. And it's not surprising to me that in London it's disproportionate. Because if you look at all the other ills of society, school exclusion, presentation to mental health services, the criminal justice system, we are number one. So it's not surprising that when it comes to another dysfunctionality of serious youth violence, we're number one on that as well. It's not really rocket science. And until you change some of the narratives. Anyway, I'm going to stop because you have some people in your room dying. And I think you should introduce yourself and introduce them and introduce myself and Claude.
Yes, sir.
No problem, man.
Executive producer.
Easy enough.
No, man.
Keep him in line, go.
Thank you. You've come in and you've heard there's a big debate going on. Different discussion based on the topic, what has brought you all here today. And with respect to the current affairs that are going on, especially in the US, it impacts us all as a people of color. Number one, I'm going to introduce myself, and then I'll introduce my co-host, and then I'll introduce those who I can see on the platform. So my name is Diana. Pleased to meet you.
Hey, Diane, what's going on?
Hello, Diane.
Darlings.
It's all
Hi,
good.
darling.
It's all good, darlings. Yes, so I can see Gemini Ford. I've known Gemini since we were
Primary
what,
schoolers.
7, yeah? So we're going back a long way. She's very political. I'm glad she's on today because I follow her.
Gemini?
Yeah, I follow her, and she has a lot to, she's always plugging social media platform with some words of wisdom, very political stance, especially for our people of color, especially as a woman of color as well. Diane, Jacqueline, Janisha, I think that's my cousin in the US, I'm sure it's her. Stephanie,
Hey,
Joy, Marilyn, my good friend since high school, Redhead, I'm sure that's the Redhead I know.
Hello.
And Elton, I think we have a Mel here. I'm wondering if it's Elton John. If it's him, then that's a good thing.
Don't forget to press the share thing on your WhatsApp.
Yeah, just send it out, and let's get this movement going forward, because we're in a time now where these platforms are the platforms to discuss openly what is going on around the world. It's a safe platform. We respect each and everybody that joins. We want to hear your views. We want to hear your arguments, because you may not be for what you're hearing. You may be against, and that is okay. You know, we're loving you nonetheless, because we know that everybody has a different ideal of life. And this thing that we love to, you know, talk about, socialization, is very, very important with us right now, who victims of society. Do you understand me? You may not want to hold your hand up to it, but we come under that banner, and we are trying to do our utmost best to safeguard ourselves in this present time, because we don't know what we're up against. Once upon a time, back in the days when we came from a community where we knew that they had our back, people are not so sure again if that community is still that strong foundation that they once knew. And with, like I said earlier, with what's going on around the world, if a community, I don't want to speak as like there wasn't a support system in place, because from the what I've been reading, there were cousins who are taking this whole thing in their hands, with the latest one, the Ford guy. What's his name, Claude?
George Floyd.
Floyd, yes, that's the name. So, you know, once again, we arrive here with another Black Lives Matter cause, and it's
Another
shaken
sad
us.
narrative.
Yeah, again, the baseline of it all, the Black narrative life, again, it's us. It affects us. It doesn't matter if it's.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, go.
I actually had a discussion today with one of my friends, and I said, I'm not going to be identifying myself as Black anymore. I'm going to be saying I'm melanated, because Black don't have we don't have no stance in law. The color Black, under the color of law, Black is the lowest.
Oh.
Past dirt. So we need to stop that, because I've got black trousers on, yeah, and I'm light skinned next to it. I'm going to start calling myself melanated chocolate or something like that. You understand? But we need to because Black is what they gave us, and under their law, Black is like the lowest of low. Going back to no Blacks, no Irish, no dogs. It's still valid today. My only my opinion. What do you lot think?
Yeah, it's a mindset, isn't it?
Definitely.
It's a programming, isn't it? It's programming. So if you give something a negative connotation and you keep reinforcing it, then people believe it. So the bottom line, you know, we are Black people. We are Black people. And, you know, Marcus Garvey said, you got to wear the black skin as a badge of honor. And if you start
of course, but
feeling
every which way they tear us down. every which way.
Yeah, but it's a bigger, you know, like I did some training about a year ago, and we was looking at systemic racism. So you got individual racism, and you got organizational, like the Metropolitan Police is an organization. They got systemic racism, and then you got institutional. So this thing is not bottom up, it's top down. And you know, to work with it and to understand it, you got to take it through all of those levels, and it is a big problem. I mean, we're here today.
The middle, haven't we? The infiltrators, the us, but they're more for them. Do you get what I mean?
It's a mindset. So if you think about it, I don't even want to go back to slavery and all that, because you had the people that would be in the house, and it's that divide and conquer mentality. So before, let's think about the UK from our parents came here in the 60s. Before, this was the division that they had. This was the division. It was Jamaican versus Barbados. Barbados versus St. Lucian. St. Lucian versus Dominica. And then it was the Caribbean versus Africa. Yeah. And then it was Nigerian versus Ghanaian. It was Ghanaian versus Gambian. It was Gambian versus Senegal. It was, even now, there's still that divide. Somalians, as black people, we're quite racist towards them. But the reality is, they're Africans.
Yeah, yeah.
But because of the mindset and the programming, when we see a Somalian, even we're racist to them. They're getting all the houses. They're getting all the money. They're in their house and what they call bungle up together. There's all 15, 20 of them just bungle up. They breed like rabbits. These are some of the derogatory things that we say. But it's a divide and conquer thing. Now, if you think about the Somalian community, probably they're better off than us, because what they have is a commonality. So we've been here since the 60s. I don't think I can name on my hand in the London Borough of Brent or South London 5 black-owned Caribbean. I don't think I would struggle. But if we go down Church Road, you go Streatham, go East London, their community, they got strips of shops, bruv. So you got to think about it. What is it? And it's because they spend their money together. So when a Somalian family come together, they spend their money. So economically, they're getting up. And they're just showing us this is what unity looks like. And when you look at and a lot of people don't even understand the makeup of the Somali community. I did some work where I had a young man, and he was coming to the youth offending team because he got into trouble. But his dad was my age. I sat down and I spoke to his dad, and I said, what is it that keeps you guys so tight? And he said, there's 5 clans. And when you belong to one of the clans, it don't matter where in the world you are. If you're a Scot and you're in America, and you're a Scot and you're in the UK, you can link up. And the 5 clans, they have their own little divisions. But you see, when it comes time to deal with anybody else, them 5 clans come together like a fist. There is no more 5 clans. We are Somalians. And you just but for us, we still have that divide and conquer mentality. And I suppose in America now, and even in the UK, because this thing in America, they kill it. But the same thing's going on in England. I've seen videos where police is just darking up youths on the road. And what I don't get, I find it difficult to understand, is we had the Brixton riots, we had the Tottenham riots, where we felt a sense of, we had to go out and put in work. But man is standing up now while police is brutalizing their brethren. They're videotaping it.
Yeah.
But that comes down to trauma. So like I could talk about trauma, what it does to the brain, how it impacts your thinking. But it's deep. It's deep. And I think that the only way that we can really start to address it is by doing this kind of stuff, where we're talking and you get some constructive people to say, you know what, I'm going to bring in some influential people and we're going to do a GoFundMe page. And the first thing we're going to do is go for a shop. Because when I open the shop, I'm going to put Diane as my manager. And Diane's son, he's going to be my delivery driver. So that means he don't have to go on road. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking for other people that's got, even this process that we're doing now, we can't even organize community spaces. So everyone's on Facebook now. I'm doing a Zoom talk about mental health. I'm doing one. Instead of us all coming together and say, hey, what, stop it. On a Wednesday night, let's all come together so that we pull all of our different audiences into one place. So instead of me and you vying for 15 people, my friend Donna is getting 8 people. This one's doing one, she's getting 5 people. No, let's collaborate and let's see if we can reach 50 people. And then the message becomes more powerful. So I think with this forum here, sometimes I talk a lot because it's something that I'm passionate about. But until we actually realize that, you have to have some cohesion. And I am spiritual. I don't adhere to any religion. And there's a lot of people, they talk about the Bible and this religion, that religion. But for me, recently, when I've started to think about it, the Bible's a good book. And I don't care what anybody says. The story in the Bible is us. And until you actually start looking in the Bible and getting some connection with the big man, that gives you a sense of unity, then we've lost our way. I'm not talking, I don't deal with religion. I don't deal with different, but the book of the Bible, there's some powerful stuff in there. And because we've become so detached, because they've used the Bible, different people in different ways to even make us disjointed in Seventh-day Adventists. I don't even know the name of some of them, because they're all over the shop.
But it says also in the Bible that they will scatter us to the 4 corners of earth.
Exactly.
So we need to start coming and meeting in the middle now, because we've been scattered too long.
We've been scattered. So the Bible, I'm not going to go into a religious aspect because I'm not religious. I can't preach about the Bible. But one thing I do know about the Bible, it's a book of knowledge. But people have misinterpreted to say that you have to be this religion. Yeah, no, you don't. You need to take up your Bible in your yard and read it and get some learning from it and know that that is a book of knowledge. You don't have to go, because I remember
preach it.
One time I was coming from a dance. It was a rave hard, and it was about midday. Boy, sometimes I go wicked, you know. It was about midday, and the dance was nice. And I've come out of the dance, and there was a church about 5 minutes up the road. And I weren't drunk because I don't drink. I just love music. I love the freedom, like the drums and the rhythm. So, you know, I'm raving, and I walked past the church. And in my mind, I said, if I was to go in there now, they would judge me. And what it says in the Bible, don't judge me by how I look. Judge me by what's in my heart. And like, why would you make... So I just know that my relationship with the big man is my relationship. But if we all started to have a relationship with him on a personal level, it would just give us a little bit more strength. And the reason why we're so disjointed, because when you look at everybody else, Indian man, they got their Sikh, elephant man, whatever they call him. Jewish man's got their Torah. They got their Quran. Everybody's got something. And we have something, but because they've told us that it's something that's not, we've thrown it away. And the further we move from that book of knowledge, is the more that they're gonna lick down man and just in broad daylight think they can just step in a man's neck and just murk him on the road.
Can I say, hi, good evening all, hope you're well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I agree exactly with what you're saying. And the thing is with our people is that we move away from what is right constantly. And because moving away from what is right, we give room for people manipulate, to hurt, to scam. Now, you spoke on the Asians, the Somalian community. No matter what, they all say the same thing, right? With us, we will say the same thing today, and tomorrow we will change it. And that's where the breakdown with our community is. And also, Christianity is a way of life. Christianity is a way of life. Religiosity is a teacher. It's just that people accuse Christians of being, and we have to be careful, because everything in life stems from the Almighty. Everything. And if we can keep that connection going, we are on the right track. But when we filter away from it or move away from it, we've lost the direction in life. And that's why we are so scattered as a Black community.
Yeah.
So scattered, dismembered. And it's a shame, because my daughter I was just talking with my daughter. I don't know the subject that you lot were just talking about. Literally jumped in. My daughter was just saying that she's so unhappy right now with the gentleman, and I call him a gentleman because he was, that got killed in America. The police officer basically had his knee throat and basically killed him. She said, I'm so upset, man. I am really angry. I said, well, there's no need to be angry, you know, because what we need to do is become strong and unite. And every single time somebody of our color gets, you know, harassed and killed and so forth, we are supposed to unite. That should make us grow even stronger together. And I thought I was saying about the white man, but I said, no, forget about the white man. It's the Black man. That's what we should be dealing with. Because the white man won't treat us that way if we stand together as a community, because he won't be able to get in. He won't be able to fill your head with foolishness if you understand who you are and whose you are, and stand together in your community, your Black community. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not a racist. I'm far from that. However, but I do understand and overstand that we as a Black community need to be more in loving, caring, and respecting each other, regardless if our skin is black or brown or light skin. We are still Black, but we in ourselves and ourselves. That's why this issue is happening. You can't blame the white man. You know, he watches what we do and says, "Let them get."
Yeah, it's about the unity, and it's about, and we talk. I mean, you know, if we go back to Marcus Messiah Garvey, he was talking nearly 100 years ago about the unity. And when he started the movement of the Black Star Liner, and he started this organization where we just said to Black people, just put £1 in and you get this book that says you're a member of something. That man had 300,000 people. They saw the power that he was wielding. They could not have that. But what he was basically saying is, when you put some money together, you become strong. When we think about the world today, China is the economic daddy. China basically based their model on Marcus Garvey's saying, Chinese at home, Chinese abroad. It don't matter where in the world a Chinese man go. He's not Chinese and American, or a Chinese man living in Jamaica. When I cut my paper, so that's why they're so, and they just base their model on Marcus Garvey's teaching. Africa abroad, Africa at home. And, you know, we need to get that connection back to who we are. And until we do that, I'm not afraid to say we're just going to be, it's just going to continue, because we need to reestablish and understand that the big man is the one that runs things. And until we start individually building a relationship with him, where he's going to give us some guidance. And when I say a relationship, I'm not talking about religion, because I don't deal with religion. I deal with spirituality. I know that I never just come here. So I know yesterday evening I was in a garden, and the moon was setting, and I could see the trees, and I could see the birds tweeting and flying past. And I had to stop and look in the amazement of it. Was beautiful. And I said to myself, the big man must have created, you know, two things weren't just in the sky and bang together, and the next thing you know, we have this. This was created. So there is something bigger than us. And until we start believing in that, then police, this system that is designed against us, is just going to continue. And it's horrible for me to say it, but it is the system that is designed to keep us, because the reality is we are the chosen people and we are the greatest. If you look at the inventions, if you look at Saturday night, they had Beanie Man and Vibes Cartel on whatever, Versus team, whatever they call it. 500,000 hits. So we are the leaders in every aspect. Fashion, design. We're not even reading about the success stories in Africa now with Corona. They're building ventilators that cost $10. If you want to build one in the UK, it's 16 grand. They're building machines to wash their hands out of wood. The inventions are still got. So the greatness that we have is just phenomenal. But they know that. And that's why, you know, the system is designed. And I don't want to bang on about the system because it sounds like I'm getting, but I'm not. I'm not a racist, but I love black people more because they're my people.
But we need to love ourselves, though.
Exactly.
Can I just jump in there? Right, so because I've been trying to speak for a while, I've been being patient. Yeah. So in terms, so what brings us together? So this book, I believe in this book, because so the connection with the Father. Yeah. So I am part of a religion, but I say to people who do not believe in God, who are we to judge? Yeah, I know. Yeah. So that is a sin within itself. I'm a Sunday school teacher as well. My parents were from Jamaica, yeah, so they were the foundation that came over where there was no blacks, no Irish, no dogs, yeah. So I remember one of our priests said that this book is the greatest love story of all. So you do need to have that connection. I've lost this man behind me, yeah, Briggy, aka it's Ray Johnson, yeah. So I said I've got 3 angels watching over me. It was 2 years since I lost him on Saturday, right? So Ray's faith was very strong, yeah. And I didn't know Ray was going to pass away. I didn't know my mum and dad was going to pass away in that year. So I lost Ray in May. I don't like to use the word loss. He left this earth in May 2018, on the 23rd of May, and I buried him on the 15th of July. My mum passed away in the evening. My dad passed away the following morning. If it wasn't for Father God, yeah, and my faith in him, I would not be, I don't know how I would cope. Yeah, and I remember saying to Ray, and I didn't know he was going to pass it, no, anyone was going to pass. I remember saying, my faith has never been as strong as it is. I went through my own test in 2011. Yeah, if it were the song by Celine Dion, Because You Love Me, that applied to this man here. Yeah, and also to my mum and dad. Everything else. And I got on music. My mum and dad were from Maxfield Avenue in Jamaica, right by Channel 1 studio. Yeah, so music, that's what I got. And that music is my therapy. Yeah. But in terms of you know, what we need to do, I feel that, so I do what I can. I'm involved with different things to do with young people. I'm a Sunday school teacher, so I teach from the young ones to the bigger ones. Yeah, so, and I've been doing that on and off since 1998. Yeah, and I was born and bred in Brent. Yeah, so I know it's about knowing our community as well, and we have to hold on to the values of our foundation. My dad had a minicab office in Harlesden Cars. Yeah, so yes. Somewhere along, I don't know, somewhere along the line, those values, I wouldn't say they've been lost, but they've been shaded somewhere. So we need to bring back those, or reconnect with those values. So with me, I say, I don't care what colour anybody is. Yeah, I hold on to my roots, and I'm part of the Dunhill Mutual Aid Group, which is it helps people in the community. I'm also part of a police ward panel. The reason I'm on that ward panel is, and I'm not frightened to talk. Yeah, so I say there's one judge, and that's God. So I'm on that panel. If I hear things that I don't like, yeah, then I will speak it. In terms of church, so it's not about religion. The church are people. We are church right here. Yeah, that love comes from the heart. When it says where 2 or 3 are gathered, yeah, I'm in the midst of things. So at the end of so what you were saying, Scotty, you know, the birds and whatever, I sit in my garden myself. So I've been doing these go live things as well. Yeah, in 2018, I found my public speaking voice. My husband used to say, you know, he used to encourage me, and he used to say to me, you can do this. And I used to say, he used to encourage and tell me to go and book his show. And I used to say, me? Yeah. Now, I tell you, 2018, that gift came, and I'm not frightened to talk. I used to work for DWP. I used to come up with all the excuses not to do presentations. I was a manager at Chancellor House. So now that fear has gone. Yeah. Fear.
And I think that's the thing, because how you just eloquently just articulated that message around the connection. And I think what we're doing today in regards to just, as you said, providing a safe space where we can all talk about different things and the aspect of the connection to the big man. And you're right, this is a forum where we can talk about him and the things. And once we get that connection back, it will give us some kind of grounding. So what I'm thinking now is there's 15, 20 people in here. The next time when we meet up, we should have 45 people, because everyone should be reaching out to 3 people. Hear what? There's a space on a Wednesday where we're just connecting. No one ain't preaching. No one ain't going to take out the Bible and start lick up the computer screen with the Bible. But we're talking, because you see this trauma, because Diane put this package together today to talk about relationships and men and why we have these difficulties. But all of these things are intertwined, because men are traumatized now because of the systemic racism, because we've lost that connection to the big man. We are now traumatizing our black women. So all of this relationship difficulties that all these different people are talking, you got to go back to the root. Why is it that why as a black man am I afraid of my sister, of my queen? Why? Because I'm traumatized by the world out there. And when I go home, any little infraction, any little difficulty, when you're traumatized and you get something that brings you back to that traumatic event, you go back into that flight or flight. So when my queen is trying to comfort me and soothe me and bring me to a good place, because of all the things that I'm facing, I can't even deal with my queen right. And until I get back my connection, and that gives me some grounding, the difficulties that we have. So I've got parents phoning me now that I work with, 11-year-old child going out of town, the father of the child nowhere to be, because all that connection to the big man has gone. Because if they just kept that core thing of the Bible, of getting a relationship with him, that will serve them in a better light. So this space here, it's Diane's space, it's not mine, but I can talk for England, because I just chat, because I don't just chat. You know, they used to have it saying that you chat like a young chicken, what? Who know who know the saying? Who really come from Jamaica? You chat like a young chicken.
Batty, sorry.
I'm not from there, but I heard it many a times.
So I thought...
Yesterday I ate a chicken. Trust me, when I clean it, I make sure I cut off the batty part. I eat batty.
They say you know one chat no more.
You know, but you know what? For me, what I love about what Diane's put together is it gives all of us a space to be curious about conversation. I'm not saying I'm an expert, that I know, because I don't. But something that I do know is that unless we get a common theme that binds us together, and that is a belief in spirituality and the big man, we're just always going to be at the bottom of the barrel. Because that book there, when it talks about scatter to the earth, children having children, common sense tells me you can't be talking about anybody else. You must be talking about me, innit? All I need to do is, you can't be talking about no Asian man, no Chinese. You're talking about me. So there must be something in. But what I'm not going to do is say that, oh, is used to twist up your mind. And no, it's not. Just study it. And I think if we just try and connect with that, it will help us. And I'm on a mission now to just try and get people to like just take up your Bible and read a little thing out of it. I'm not telling you about no church. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying just hold this little book here and take it up. Night time come, you know, just open it anywhere and just take 2 little reading out of it and just, yeah, I'm cool with that. And we need to connect to that. And I think that we need to think about how this thing impacts what Diane really brought to the fold. Why do men go to their men caves? Why is it that women talk together? Why is it that our women now, our queens, they got this nonsense, I don't need no man nonsense. You don't hear nobody else talking rubbish like that. I don't need no man.
Sorry.
Well, who else? You see Jewish people saying they don't need no man.
Wow.
Can I just...
What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of nonsense is that? Sorry, Diane, but you know...
No.
And then they start thinking about, there's no good man out there. Me and my brethren had this conversation the other day. There's only a good man out there, dustbin man out there. Good man. But when some of the women they want the complete package. They want a man that's articulate, know how to talk, know how to dance, have him yard, rare, boom, boom, tear. But they don't understand, to get to them level there, you got to build.
It's a teamwork.
You can't just get ready-made, man. It's not Argos. It's not Tesco where you can go online and say,
No, you're correct. But men want that from women. Their list of requirements from a woman is so long, yet we're not allowed to have none.
You think so? No,
I feel like I want someone that matches me. So if I've got my house, I got my car, I got my money, I got my job, why you can't have the same? And no one over here ain't rejecting a bin man. Just to say, job's a job.
Yeah, but I think that sometimes we have to work with one another. We need to forget, and this is where the book comes in important again, because the book tells you sometimes in a union, sometimes one person is the strength and the other person needs to be nurtured. But it swings and roundabout, because there might be a stage where you don't have a job. And this man that you helped build has got a job. And because you share a commonality, he's going to work with you. But this is, so all of these things, they're all connected. They're all connected. So when I talk about women and men and relations, I don't profess to be an expert on anything. No, I am. Serious youth violence and young people and trauma, I'm an expert on that. But all the other stuff, the Bible, I'm just curious with people, and I question and I become thoughtful. What does this actually mean? Why are there so many? You know, like you go to places and you speak to women and you hear 20 of them saying, there's no man out there. And I'm saying, what kind of nonsense are you talking? I've got friends. They're good guys. They might not be rich. They might not, but they're clean-hearted. And like, I got women friends that, you know, they're humble. And last week we spoke, this was the word that we spoke about last week. The man is the head of the family. It comes back to that book, innit? And the woman is the neck. And with gentle persuasion, the neck can get the head to turn in any direction you want. So it's in that book, innit?
Happy wife is a happy life.
Yes. Yes, Jasmine.
So yeah, I'm gonna... Yeah, so the neck can get the head to turn in any direction. And you know, once you believe, you know, like, you know, you're queens, you're regal, and like, you don't have to go on like man. Because if you go on like a man to me, I don't want to chat to you. I'm already traumatized by all the things I have to face out there. Then I come to my house, and you want to dance me like your name, man, too. Of course, I communicate with you. I'm not going to communicate with you.
But how's about
communicate with you?
How's about if the man doesn't want to act like a man and the woman has to take charge?
You tell me, that question is very important. You tell me why any man would not want to be a man.
Because they don't have responsibility.
No, he's traumatized, so he's fearful of the responsibility. Because if I don't provide the food for the table, you're gonna cuss me out. That workless boy, the man dash him out of my house, him workless and can't even get job.
The roles will slightly change if you are having to help a man be a man.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite difficult to then be just the neck if you feel like you're also the head, based on his inability to be a man.
Yeah.
Or, you know, maybe there was a little failing there with mum, or I don't know. Whatever the trauma is, he's not at a level to have the same capabilities to be a man for you, but you didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Now you love him.
Yeah. And I'm going to throw this back to you. This is where that book come in handy again. Because in that book, it talks about being a man. It gives you guidance on what qualities a man has. That a man is a protector of his family. That a man is a provider. But when you don't have a connection to nothing, how you're socialized is by what the media tells you. Let me give you a joke. Boris Johnson, our Prime Minister, my man's got 3 baby mothers. I've never seen no story in the newspaper that says Boris Johnson and his baby mothers.
Because he ain't black.
Exactly. So the narrative to our young men, they're just your baby mothers. But when you take up that book, no, that's not. That's your queen. You're a king. That's your spouse. But because we don't have that one thing to give us some strength, of course they fooled up our youths now. You tell me, where is it acceptable? This is deep. I want you to reflect on this, guys. I can go on this YouTube channel now, and all of us in here could play a song that says we must go out and kill a black youth and blah, blah, blah. I cannot say that. I could not say that, play that song and say, I'm going to go outside and kill a Jewish man. Couldn't do that, could I? Because I'd get reported, it would get banned immediately. So you got to look at the bigger picture. It's systemic, it's there, because they know that we're not connected to anything to give us some grounding. So I just believe that, you know, once we connect back to the book and some of the teachings and build that relationship ourselves, that's the factor that's going to give us some strength. Until we have that, we're always just going to be scattered all over the place. And I'm going to go back to it. That's why in America, can see a man running down the road and jump in their Jeep, follow him and just lick him down. That's why police here can just come into our community. I have a friend over south years ago, they stormed a house which led up to the Brixton riots and his mum was impacted. It will continue because they know. And then if you think about it, this is why I think about churches in a different guise. I know they got this thing called tithes, or when they have to give money. So the money that they give to the church then goes and invests that money into a white bank. And then that white bank will give white people loans to buy houses and gentrify the community. And the church is still there taking the money. Before the church actually says, let's invest in some houses so that we can build our community. It's deep. It's deep how this thing is set up. It's deep. Then the more critical you become thinking of it, the more you realize, boy, the system is dread. It's there to kind, and unless we have a common denominator, because why do we have all these different religious sects? Why do we have Seventh-day Adventists? This one, I can't even name some of them. There's so many. Can someone help me? Because I can't even name some. There's a lot, isn't there?
Can I jump on?
Yeah.
Because I'm getting hot around here.
Sorry, Diane.
No.
No, I drink water.
I am so blessed right now to sit here and hear my co-host speak on the greatest architect of the universe. Because for those who know, I host a platform on a Saturday called Giver of Dominion. And it is nothing to do with how we're teaching the word. I have got the greatest teacher that when she executes that word, you best believe it takes you to a place where you are transformed immediately. You know, when they have that statement with immediate effect, that's what I'm talking about. Now, we understand exactly where the whole indoctrination of the Bible has been taught. So people are coming on the platform, and there are people on this platform who attend on a Saturday, and their teaching of how they were taught is where the challenge comes in trying to detach from that indoctrination. Now, if you know that great book, there is an order of how we are to live our lives on earth, number one. And if you don't know that full Godhead, which it seems like the way the world is because it's not being taught the way it's supposed to be taught, because that will influence our belief and give us a stronger belief system as a people of color. Now, I'm so touched, Scotty, honestly. I feel like I want to cry, but I'm crying in my heart because, you see, prayer, and I had no idea how this platform was going to go today. As you know, we jumped on and we had our discussion and we said we're going to talk about what is going on in terms of current affairs around the world. But you touched something that is so fundamental, and it's that had got our ancestors through it all. You understand me? So we need to understand where we are coming off the backs of our ancestors who didn't have none of what we had, but they stood as a collective. Yeah, they stood as a collective. What they had were morals, principles, and values. And those are the key components, the key denominators, the key fundamentals of what a movement is all about. Just because they believed in the one true God and the words which are his promises, and his promises or his word never comes back void. Yeah, never comes back void, because if it was so, then the whole purpose of him being sacrificed for us, it's a lie. Number one. So I'm encouraging you all to come on to the platform on a Thursday where Janice speaks on the word. The actual giver of dominion is resuming back on the 6th of June. And I'm inviting Scotty and I'm inviting you, Jean Claude, to come on board, and everybody else. Yeah, if you follow my link, Facebook, Diana Gray Lewis, you see me upload. If you're on Instagram, I come under Millionaire because I'm an heir to a kingdom. So these are the words that I speak over my life, because life and death is in the power of the tongue. You understand me? So you've got to be mindful of the things you say to yourself, the way you think, and the deeds that you do, the action you carry forward. You understand me? Because all of that creates everything that you bring into your life. You're responsible for that. Do not be pointing outwardly, because you are that magnet. You're just an energy at the end of the day that brings things into your sphere, into your realm, into your dimension, right? So as Scotty said, we need to find our belief system and have a strong belief system. Yeah, not no human being. You understand me? Because what is man? Man is just a mere flesh.
Yes,
you understand me? And you need to be dead to the flesh. Because at the end of the day, there is a Holy Spirit that guides you and dictates your every move. Yeah. You see, like when you're in your car and you like to listen to the sat-nav, yeah, that is what the Spirit is. That is your sat-nav, and it guides you. It goes and it makes sure wherever it is you are going, it has a host of angels that's already gone on ahead to ensure your safety. Those are the type of beliefs that you need to start constructing in your way of thinking, in your everyday life, in any project that you're doing. Don't think that you've come this far because of you. No. The minute you make it about you, forget it.
Ew.
Yeah. So I'm so, I can't even say pleased or happy, because I know the God I serve, and he's spoken to Scotty, through Scotty, to speak to this platform different to me. Because you know what? I know, because it's me saying it, people's gonna be like, oh, it's only her. I don't want to hit you, know what I'm saying? Because I know where I'm coming from as a community and as a woman.
Right.
You ain't got, I'm keeping it real. I don't care. I'm very transparent. I'm very unfiltered, and I am raw and unedited. Because you see, this war
From day one.
about thank you, Dee, yeah, about keeping it authentic. A lot of people fear that. You know why they fear it? Because they're living for the friend, or they're living for what the next man
Other
will
people's
say.
opinions.
Other people's opinion. You need to disconnect from that and
OPP, no.
and know who you are. You understand me? Because you come on this earth to serve a purpose. And you know one thing, when your time comes, you're going to stand before the king, and he's going to ask you, what did you do with what I gave you the dominion and authority on earth to do? What did you do with it? And what are you going to say to him? Oh, true, sir, I come from a single parent. I come from social deprivation. Excuse. When this, yeah, this, you see this manual? I don't move without going in it. You see this platform? It came from this. It came from being obedient to the word. Yeah? You see the platform that I host on a Saturday? It came from being obedient to the word. Where are you going to get certain things that I do ain't even on this natural level? They're supernatural, because they come downloaded from the heavens. Understand me? So people will think, oh, how could she, impossible. You see the God I serve? I can do all things. You understand me? All things. He never said some. He never said a few. He never said a little bit. He said all things.
Amen.
Yeah? And that's where my belief system comes from. I don't know about anybody else. Yeah? But anything I talk, I walk that talk. That's the first thing. If you don't like me, too bad. One less person to say hello to. I'm not losing no sleep. Yeah, that's where I'm coming from. I'm all about what is my purpose down here. You understand me? That's all I care about. We've all been given 24 hours in the day. How you choose to use it, that's good for you. How I choose to use it, that's good for me. Time is currency spent here on earth. Yeah, forget the money. That paper don't mean nothing, because you could have £20 in your hand and it means tenfold more to you than the next man who's got it in his hand, because he's worrying about his gas, his electric, food on the table, probably even food for the kids them to get packed lunch to school. The value, you understand me? So what are you doing with your time? Because as Scotty always says, the time that we give, we can't get it back. So are you squandering your time, or are you using it wisely to change the world, to make a difference in someone's life? Because I ain't trying to change the world. I'm trying to change one person at a time. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do. And through that one person, I don't know, through investing my time in that person is going to have the next cure, the next business venture. Who knows? Who I caught in that immediate moment just by giving them my time. So that time is important, right? So I'm very passionate about the Bible. Understand me? I'm not, you see, religion was created by a man. I have a relationship with God. I don't need to be in a church building. What are you doing now? The churches them lock off, so what? Because you can't get into a church. Does that cut off your relationship with God?
No, it doesn't. So Di, can I And can I just say as well, so Scotty, you're already doing God's work and you believe in that book as well. So let me tell you something. I'm not frightened to tell any pastor, priest, bishop, whatever. Yeah, because I'm not into titles. And I've told a few of them, I don't worship no man on this earth. One person I worship is God. So what Diana is saying about people, they can judge you all. Yeah, I don't care who wants to judge me. I know God loves me. Yeah, so there's people that I've seen, even on my journey, my grieving journey, I've seen their true hearts. Yeah, and people will go, they'll come and go in your life. But with me, I know I love myself. I've had the foundation of love. My mum and dad represented love. Briggy represented love as well. Love conquers all. Like I said, this book is one of the priests I know from years ago referred to it as a love story. Yeah, so I know I've got peace and love in my heart. I don't need anyone that wants to put any negativity or say anything negative. I don't care. My God loves me. Yeah, and Briggy used to say, I remember before that year, 2018, he said to me, one day he said to me, I fear for you, you know, yeah, because he knows I'm not frightened to say anything. Yeah, but I know Father God is watching over me, and I'm sensible because I'm not going to put, and even these youths, I'll be walking on the street, and I don't, because when I worked at Chancellor House, I focused on our young people, I focused on ex-offenders. People give up on our young people. I'm not frightened. I'll walk on the street and I'll talk to whoever, I don't care. Yeah, and at the end of the day, judge no one. Yeah, because people are into titles. I'm not into titles. Yeah, and it's not about the church building. Yes, I am a Sunday school teacher. St. Mary's, I was christened, confirmed. I got married there. I'm on the church council. Yeah, but I'm part of a church family. But it's not about the building. This right here is church. This right here is love. So the platform that Diana has created in terms of the church. So I go onto that platform. Yes, the lady that leads the studies is amazing. However, she's I'm learning so much about the Bible, and that fellowship together is amazing and powerful. But I know that I put my trust, as I said, in God, no man on this earth. And I speak my mind, I speak my truth. Not everyone will agree with me, but I know that God knows what I say, and my actions are from my heart. And each day I wake up, I'm doing this Facebook Live in the morning. So I know you do it, Scotty, as well, because Diana shares some of it on her page. So I go to Gladstone Park, and I found myself doing this Facebook Live, and it's connecting with nature. Sometimes I'm at Gladstone Park at 7:30 in the morning, and it's connecting with nature. The other day I sat in the garden, I looked up at the sky and I saw like a heart in the clouds. So it's probably Briggy watching over me. There's things that happen in terms of nature. I'm not a cat person. Ray used to love cats. I've ended up with 3 cats. And they're characters. God sends.
Yeah, we all get the messages in different ways. For me, when Diane came to me and she reached out to me and she said she wanted me to be part of it, and we already spoke about how me and Claude and Diane kind of linked up. Claude saw some of my stuff in America and he said to Diane, and there's a youth from Stonebridge, why are you not linking up with him? And then Diane reached out and we realized that we got the same connection. And then over the last month, we've been reaching out and touching in with you guys, and we've been exploring different subjects and having a conversation and being curious about minds. But it's really, for me, it's powerful to know that so many people in here have the same understanding about their relationship. And what I'm not going to pretend, I'm not a church goer, and I'm not going to be going to no church, because that's just not me. I'm a road you, and I'm always going to be a road you. That's just me as a road you. But even though I'm a road you, in that book, I know that there's some things in there that even if man is doing badness out on the road, I'm not judging no one. Take up that thing there and have a little look at it and have a read, and it will give you a different kind of belief in yourself. And then only when do you believe that, then you start changing your morals, Diane, like what we said. So, when we talk about the relationships, because we was going to talk about relationships today, but when you take up that things, it gives you some guidance on what a relationship actually is. So when we look at our parents and so forth, Yes, a lot of them went to church, but they had a relationship with the big man that came into their relationship. And that's what gave them the strength. We now, you know, these young people use a word now. They say, bruv, you're moist. That means you're soft, you're weak. So we've become moist because we've lost the fiber that underpins us. So that's why now, any little turmoil, we just crumble. Relationship just mash up. Little financial problem, man get chased out of house. Little problem, woman get cussed. Because we've lost that core thing. So I'm just going to think about, I've been really blessed today to kind of share this with you guys, because we've gone on a different journey, Diane, and we didn't expect to go on this journey where we're just having a discussion and people's tuning in and it's making them curious. And sometimes we said we want to go on for an hour, but we always go over. And it's because we're getting a different kind of energy.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting something else.
Yes,
we're just the vessel. We're just the
yes.
vessel.
Amen.
We're just vibing with the thing. We're just vibing with the thing. We're not saying we know the thing and everything. But you see, because I'm who I am, you are who you are, Claude is who he is. We're just vibing with the thing. And people
teary-eyed.
Huh?
Teary-eyed.
No, we're just vibing with the thing. And if we do this more, people will feel more enriched to help somebody else. So in the morning, you spoke about going for the walk in Gladstone Park. In the morning, once or twice a week, I get up and I read from a book, and I do it live on Facebook, and people have reached out to me like, Scotty, that made me cry. And I'm just reflecting what's going on in my mind. I'm not saying I know this. I'm just saying this is what happened for me today. And I found this reading in this book. Mm-hmm. And what happened resonated. And people just reach out. So that's my mission now, is to like just reach out to people and just say, you know something, we're all blessed.
Amen.
My young people that I work with, I tell them all the time, the big man brought you here because he's got a plan for you. I don't know what the plan is, but the plan wasn't for you to be in my hospital, stab up 9 times. Mm-hmm. That's not what but this is part of the journey. But you have to find your way. So for me now, it's really, I feel quite privileged sitting down and talking with you guys, and even trying to link up how the topics that we were going to explore around men, women, relationships, cave communication, racism, financial stability, it's all connected. It's an ecosystem. And until you have something that is core in that ecosystem, the ecosystem just doesn't work. And that's what we have to realize. We need to get that connection back. So for me, you know, I'm always wary and mindful of time, because as Diane said, the time that we give today is precious. We're not going to get it back. And I always want to try and give back to the people that have given me, Diane and Claude, like an hour of their time, so that they can kind of vibe with us. Okay, from the reasoning and what did you guys think about it? And where do we go in 2 weeks' time? How do you guys now help us so that we can vibe with more people about the foundation of things? So all the foundation will almost filter out into every other part of your life. So when you're talking about relationship, financial problem, or, you know, that relationship that you build, the core, it will filter into every aspect of your life. And we need to reach out to more people. So Diane, I'm gonna give this to you now, because I'm aware of time. We was meant to be here for an hour, and it's now an hour and 20. And I don't know if anybody in the room wants to give us some thought about next week or the week after, because we're on every 2 weeks. I want to touch on this aspect, but we know that we got the core in this thing now. We don't leave the thing now, isn't it? We know that's part of the core, but we might want to go here or there. So I'm going to throw it up. And Claude, I think you just there in America now, probably still doing your course. You're probably thinking, I'm gonna leave Diane and Scotty, make them know one.
Today was quite interesting.
With the
like,
team.
you know, it's kind of like, as we've decided, we're kind of just gonna go with the flow, just in life circumstances. And you had a powerful message today, Scott. Sometimes, you know, when you know yourself, you know when to talk and when not to talk. Today wasn't my day to talk. Today was your day to talk. You had a very powerful message for our little community here. Do you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, like, in the midst of, like, you wanted to say something, you're losing the message because you're not allowing somebody else to talk. You're going to lose it. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's good to sit down and be still and listen and absorb. Do you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, again, and it must have been God just guiding your spirit, because I could feel you. You know what I mean? I couldn't say, it wasn't my time to talk. Today was about the message that you had on your heart to give to us. And sometimes we have to understand that as individuals. Turn back, let the man do his thing. It's not your time.
Yeah, but we got our people them out there that's giving us their time. And I want to say to the people that's out there, make sure you tell your friends that this space here is a space where we just hold in a meditation and we're vibes in, and whatever comes in the room, we just work with it, because we have something that is fundamental underpinning what we're talking about. And the only way...
Next time, I'm going to cut off your internet in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to send a man around there.
Send a man around there. You don't have to send a man, you know. The Wi-Fi button downstairs. Just press the button and it can't.
Message, Mr. Scott. Like, you know, and again, just in line with the spontaneity of the platform that Diana's, like, you know, put together. It doesn't need to be scripted. Do you know what I'm saying? There are certain issues and topics that we can address, but like, again, I just felt that, like, you know, your words today were just kind of ordained because it was lifting me up. I'm sitting here and it's lifting me up. You know what I'm saying? And, like, you know, I know the effect everybody here, and, like, you know, we're feeling a sense of community here. And again, as you said, Scott, if we can, like, you know, share and share and share, we can make this community bigger. We make it bigger. Now we got a voice. Now we can start addressing certain serious topics within, you know, certain communities back home. I mean, I'm far away, but, like, as we're saying, there's strength in numbers. There's going to be strength in numbers. Like, you know, we have to solidify what it is that we stand for, what it is that we're trying to accomplish. Because, like, you know, standing up on the soapbox for today, oh, they kill a man, you know, weekend, you in the dance, like, you know, you forgot all about it. That ain't getting it, kind of thing. So, I mean, whether we have to bring it to a print media format or whatever format, just keep on spreading the word that there's a nice little community of, like, you know, serious individuals that come together every couple of weeks, and it's just self-expression, you know?
Yeah.
Can I just, sorry, because I'm going to have to go shortly, but can I just say as well, there were powerful, because Jasmine also, it's about working together. So Diana's platforms are amazing. She inspired me to create my own platform called Be the Light, which it isn't a regular thing like Diana's. But Claude, you touched on something called the word reach out. I'm going to tell you, in 2018, we had an event that Briggy named, and he named it Reach Out, based on the song Reach Out and Touch by Diana Ross. Okay, and I had Scotty's got, I'm talking to Scotty, he's on the phone, isn't he? So anyway, so I had my first Reach Out event online yesterday, although I didn't get many people that joined, but I'm going to keep going with that. And Jasmine also has so there are people on here, I'm sure, that have platforms as well. So we need to support one another, because I think we have the same message. It's a message of love. It's a message of making a difference. And I'm not into just words. I'm into actions. I'm also part of something called The Village, where it takes a village to raise a child. Leary Constantine in Willesden, Mr. Mullins, foundation man. Yeah. This idea came to me last year, and we got together. Jasmine's on The Village, there's a few others that are on The Village. We need to work with our elders as well. So we already started this community love, or, you know, found it again. But, you know, we were meant to have an event on the 18th of March called The Foundation, and it was about playing music, bringing our young people and our elders together, and it was going to take place at Leary Constantine. So there are platforms already. So Diana's platform is amazing. Jasmine, your platform is amazing as well. I'm trying to ting, you know, with my own platform. Pastor Loy is amazing as well. So I think it's about supporting one another, because we've all got voices and we've all got gifts, and I'm finding many gifts inside of me. So I love Diana's platform, but we have, and I'm not disrespecting it, Diana, but we've got other platforms and other people as well. And I think we all need to just come together and as long as we're sharing that message of love and we're on the same page, because not everybody I can work with, if I'm honest with you. And I would just, so we've all got to be on that. So we might join the platform and it may not be for us. I don't know. But, you've got to come together, communicate. If you think that you can work together with people, then yeah. I mean, and right now I'm feeling this, Diana, I can't stop thanking you. Yeah. On the 1st of April, God brought us together. So thank you abundantly.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Anyone else got a quick word for us?
Hi, everybody. Hey, everybody. I'm here. I am Street Pastor Lloyd. Yeah, Street Pastor. I've been listening. I've been quiet because, you know what, I was so happy just to come in just in time. Scotty was talking about the incident that happened to the young man. When I saw that today, my blood just, wow. When are we going to really, as a voice, as a community, say, nah, that man died in such a tragic way, it was unnecessary. But it's not only that, it's what I've been struggling with for a very long time, that we as a community of Caribbeans are not coming together. There's so much our Caribbeans can do in our community. I just felt like for a very long time, we have lost in such a direction that how do we come together and put everything in the way it's supposed to? So just hearing each person speaking on their views and that, it's nice to hear that. And I've been saying for a long time that we should be having a lot of business things into action for our community, banks, hospitals, our elderly, schools. I just feel like we're losing everything that what our ancestors fight to give us freedom. And we just seem to be battering when we could have been working together, loving each other. And yes, God has to be in the midst of this, but it's just where people's heart is so divided, and the church is not understanding. There was a big cry out before this coronavirus came in. And I've been talking to a lot of ministers, to say, right now, I'm in the community and there's a lot of people suffering, and, there's organization out there. They need help and support, to make things more positive for our younger generation, because I'm saying, all right, I'm only here for a short time, but our younger generation, what holds for them to move forward if we don't come out and teach them and put certain action in plan? So things like this now is a good standing point for us to look on those things, where I'm so blessed to be here, each week, and I'm hearing, each person speaking. It brings a lot of comfort to me that when I sit on my platform, I know most ministers, they won't touch my platform because I will talk about God, but I will put in things that I feel we need to be looking at, that we can build our community. We shouldn't be waiting for governments to do it. We should be able to come and put an action strategy plan and say to the government, this is what our community is lacking on. If we was powering the voice from long time, we wouldn't have seen ourselves in this dire strait kind of thing. But
don't you feel like we need a leader?
Well, we do need a leader, because when you really look at leaders, who is our leader, really?
We don't have, that's my point. I feel like we don't have one, and I think you're 100% correct that we do need to come together. An action plan does need to be put in place, but I feel like there is no leader.
That's it.
And
that's my frustration.
We need somebody to follow as a culture, as a Caribbean, African, Black people, whoever, somebody at the forefront that we can follow, agree. I don't know. I feel like that's what's missing.
And I said, I am a part of a group called the Black, what's called Organic Black. And we are going to be having a meeting with Keir Starmer. And we are going to be setting things right for our Black community. Homes, educations, everything. Because there is nobody that really is representing representing the veins. So there is going to be someone in answer to, I don't know your name, to, we've got a,
sorry, Anita.
Hi Anita. It is happening. I'm actually, every Thursday we meet, and this organisation is going to be kicking some butts, I can tell you that. And there will be somebody or an organisation representing Vein, definitely. And we, you know, so please rest assured that this is going to happen. The organisation is very strong. It's made up of lawyers. It's made up of all sorts of people from the community. Okay.
Does it include like young people as well?
Yes, it does. We are at the point of what we're doing. We're making sure that infrastructure is correct, because you can't keep bringing people in. We have to organise what we have already. That's the one thing that Black people unfortunately don't do. They don't organise the little, but they want to organise the big. So
everyone's for the fame and glory.
That's right. So what
and no one don't want to just be a leader and just say, you know what, I've got something that is given to me and that I'm going to use to just get people thinking, because it's the mindset. Right. So even like hearing you say like, we're going to meet with Keir Starmer and we're going to have representation. You know, for years, we've always had, I met with Jeremy Corbyn just before the election and they mash him up. And then I went down in the street and met with Matt Hancock. And then I went to the Old Bailey and met with the top judges. And these people, they're always going to protect their interests first. No matter how much they meet with me, you, until we can lead, we need to get a leader. We need to get someone that, what we need is someone that can just help people just feel at ease. So that it doesn't matter if you're St. Lucian, Jamaican, African, Nigerian, Stonebridge. We just.
I even see on the bus and the train and that. You see old women.
This is what I'm saying to you. This is what this whole organisation stands for. It's bringing everybody into line. We're not missing anybody, whether you're African, whatever. We are bringing everything into play. And this is why this a careful, put together organisation with people with, you know, political views. We have two parts of it, to be fair. We have the Organic Black, which is sort of like a non-political side, and we have a political side as well. But we are careful in what we are doing. We are careful organising how our approach will be towards the Parliament and so forth, because these are things you have to sort carefully in order to get a good result. Yeah, but I'm saying there are platforms out there, and Diana, good on you. There are also other powerful platforms as well. However, this is amazing, Diana. You are doing it incredibly well. But to the lady, I've forgotten your name again, Anita. There is, look out for the Organic Blacks, because we will be kicking butts, believe you me.
Honestly, I did just go on Instagram looking for you, and there's no page. So I'm assuming it's not on social media. Should I go on Facebook? Or?
Right. Don't look for it yet. Don't look for it, because we are still, the foundation is still being built. And I'm telling you, things have been done where we've already got all the social media set. Everything is just ready to go. But there's a key thing that we have to do. And obviously I can't really discuss much, but there's a key thing that we have to do. And once that's done, then I will say to you guys, go on the pages, go on all the platforms, and you will see what the Organic Black is about. Believe you me.
Jasmine, I'm going to keep them in prayer, but I'm very skeptical. I'm very skeptical of and I, you know me, I speak my truth. So we've, you know, I think there needs to be more organisations. There needs to be. This is a platform within itself. Yeah, I said I'm I'm into action, not just talk. Yeah, I mean, and I'm not disrespecting that. I'm not disrespecting that, Jasmine. But what I'm saying is, yeah, we need to pray about it, because when people are involved, yeah, and I don't want to put no negative, I will keep it in prayer. Yeah, so I'm very skeptical, because me, myself, I've got a voice myself. There are other people on here. I'm born and raised in this community. We have got voices. Scotty, I've heard you. Diana, I've heard you. Pastor Lloyd, we have all got, I'm not into, yeah. So we form the village, but at the end of the day, I say, we walk, I walk with God, I know that.
Can I just jump in there?
You're going to sum it up?
I'm going to sum it up, but I just want to, Jasmine, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think what I'm hearing is a very powerful movement, all right? And what these platforms do is highlight the work that everyone's doing. That's why it's here, to share. And whenever you get that missing jigsaw puzzle, yeah, you forward it, and then we send it out there. Because we are all here to bring different things to this world.
That's right.
Yeah? And where's that lady? Anita? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Jasmine's platform might be for Anita. Someone else's platform might be for Diana's platform. Someone else's platform might be, who else is on here? Pastor Lloyd. Someone else and someone else and someone else. But I'm going to give you a statistic, right? And I'm going to bring it to a close, because the day has been so valuable in more ways than one. Because it's not, like I said, it's not about me. It's not about Scott. It's not about Jean Claude. We've given this is a portal opening, because we've all got different sustenance in us. So we execute things that someone else might not execute, that will trigger a different way of discussion, the topic, something else. Now, had we had spoken about what the topic for today would have been, we would not have known about Jasmine's organic black people. Does that exist? Yeah, because our mindset. What's your platform called?
Organic Blacks.
Organic Blacks. Yeah, because our mindset was focused on today's topic. Yeah, but we serve a higher power. He knows why he chose Scotty today to talk, because he knows that someone on here needs to hear something other than just this. Yeah, so you and I and everyone here needs to understand that we are all just mere vessels. And when we start leaning on our own understanding and thinking, yeah, because look, I've prepared all of this. Have I read a sentence from it? No. not one sentence come from it. Understand me? But when you are connected spiritually, yeah, as Claude said, this was for Scotty. God has used Scotty today to preach, to speak the word. And whoever it was for, it has been received.
Amen.
But I know there's first timers on this platform. And that's what I love about what we're doing. Because it's a portal. It's an opening. It's a platform. It's a stage. It's a key that's unlocking a door in someone's mind that they were thinking and considering about something, and then they've come on this platform today and they've got an answer. They've received a revelation. Yeah. So whether you have to talk it first before it becomes a reality, you speak life over that project, Jasmine. Yeah. Speak over it. And whoever is to come on board, whenever they're to come on board, it will happen. You might still have a date in plan. No one knew 3 months ago this whole world was going to be shut down. So, man a plan, God a wife. Yeah?
You know. True.
So,
I like that.
Yeah.
Man a plan, God
Man
a
a
wife.
plan, God a wife. That's the statement. So I'm going to close with a scripture, because that's what it's about. And it's Proverbs 11:14. And if you know it, then good. If you don't, even better. Even better. Yeah. And it says,
don't know, get to know.
Yeah. Without good direction, yeah, people lose their way.
Right.
The more wise the counsel you follow, the better your chances. So with you, Jasmine, this is for you today. That little missing piece, you have to dissect all these people that are coming on board, because that one wrong somebody will make all of your efforts. All right then. Yeah? Come, just fall apart, fall by the wayside. And anybody else. Yeah? Your counsel.
Thank you.
That wise counsel is what you need, because some people can speak the words you want to hear. Yeah? Because I know I can speak. I like to defend what I talk. But there's people that will come and slip through the crevice and show up as that missing piece.
Yes.
See, when you're walking with the Spirit, it will tell you. That spirit of discernment will tell you, not yet.
That's right.
Not yet.
That's right. That's right.
So you be mindful of what it is you're doing.
Absolutely.
I feel it's so big, you can't even talk about it just yet, because there's nothing to talk about. So humble yourself in the presence of the Lord and let him give you that missing piece, because that's what you're waiting for. You've had certain people that you fought, but they let you down.
Sorry, I've got to go.
So,
all right.
Thank you,
Scott. Thank you, Scott.
Your words of wisdom. We'll speak. Yeah. For everyone today, thank you for your time. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. And for those of you who got the word, let it be an anchor.
Amen.
And execute it in your lives. Don't just let it sit there and grow cobwebs and mold. You understand me? Because this is what it is about, who we are. We just get all this good information and it just nothing happens with it. You understand me? We talk about it to everybody, but we don't move with it. So we've got a very short time left on this earth.
Amen.
Yeah? And we've got a gift that has to be used. Right? There is a gift and there is your job. Your gift is the work that you do, that you was born to do. Understand me? You're never going to retire from it. It's going to keep calling you all the time.
Your purpose.
You, yeah, it keeps prodding you. Get up tonight, read this, go there, say this, don't do that. That's what your gift keeps telling you to do. Yeah? And it doesn't give you a salary. It makes you wealthy because it is forever. No one can take it away from you. Don't forget that. So with tonight, whoever it was that word was for, we went on a total different trajectory tonight. But I believe that it was for somebody other than who we thought or what we thought we needed to speak about. So I just want to say thank you for myself, Scott's gone, JC, my partner.
All right, thank you everyone. Thanks for coming on board.
Thank you, Claude.
Thank you.
All right.
Well done.
And we'll see you all, and just be safe. Pick up the Bible, read the word, and let it be the armor. Don't worry about the designer labels, because them not work feel. Yeah?
No.
So 2 weeks.
I just want to say thank you, Diane. Thank you, Diane. You don't realize it's a big, great help. Yeah? You have my heart. Every week, it's been a blessing. This group has done so good for me, and that I can speak better to others. So I'm sharing your love, and I share. God be blessed. Yeah, everybody else.
Thank you so much. We work with
Gemini, Jasmine.
Thank you, Claude.
Thank you.
Denisa, Joy, Julie, Earl 16, and Redhead.
Love and light to one and all.
Thank you for all of you. First timers, share the word. Share it. Share it.
Take care.
Take care. All right.
Bye.
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 Brilliant.